Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is September the 24th, 2019. Strong hand, value your wealth in Bitcoin. Long-term thinking. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Conviction. Yeah, that's what today's about. Hello, my elite friends. I'm assuming your hands are as strong as ever and you're still elite. The people with the weak hands, not so elite on a day like this, but we're always going to have days like this. You know that, people. Check out the links below. This Week in Bitcoin, Guy Swan, Christian, and Jeff Andrew were on. And This Week in Bitcoin on Friday, coming up, Caitlin Long will be on. So I'm sure all of you are excited about that. You can watch all the shows at disruptmeister.com and follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, TechBalt. Well, let's jump into what's been going on this interesting day today. Eric Voorhees has a tweet. If you bought Bitcoin this summer at $12,000 because it was going up, and you're selling now at 8,500 because it's going down, you're doing it wrong. Hold isn't just a cute meme. It's wisdom from the elders who have been here before. Yeah, there are a lot of people out here in the space. They just don't get it. They're not long-term thinkers, and they haven't been here very long. They are impulsive beasts. They're not unique beasts. They're not very unique at all. This is what the 80%ers do. The mainstream people do. They panic when they see something going down. They sell at a loss, which is absolutely ridiculous. That's not what hold is about. Hold is a long-term deferral of gratification lifestyle. And if you ever get tempted not to hold, you watch a video like this. You talk to some people who've been around before and you ask them, wow, today kind of sucked in terms of the fiat price. Has this happened before? Yeah, of course it's happened before, dude. It happens all the time. And just because the media says, oh, it's crashing, they say that every time this happens. And there are all these weak hands trying to create FUD out there saying this is the end, this never happens. Oh, it's finally below 9,000. Well, yeah, it is finally below 9,000. That streak is over, isn't it? But I've seen many a streak come and go. I've seen many days where it's gone down by 1,000 and where it's gone up by 1,000. That's why you have to value your wealth in Bitcoin. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. And just to have that strong hand. And but there are plenty of people that do exactly what Eric described there. They buy at a price and they freak out when it starts going down and they give up. They just throw their hands up in the air and they give up. And that's not what this is about. That's loser think there. Scott Adams would say. No, that's how you become broke, okay? That's traditional. People don't, for me, it's common sense. You think long term. You don't do impulsive things with large sums of value. But hey, this is where the big boys play. Personal responsibility is new counterculture. It's not my fault you sold. It's not the big banker's fault that you sold. It's your fault. All right, pound that like button. Rhythm Trader says, the rhythm of the night. Okay, breaking. Bitcoin drops to levels unseen since ... 3 months ago. Yep. How about that, dude? Yeah, people, they don't have long memories. They really don't. Think back to January, people. How about that? That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Not really. And it was $3,000 then. But people, they want it now. They want it all now. They want the gratification now. $100,000 now. Why isn't $100,000 now? I'll just sell and I'll give up. Yeah, so that for when it does get to 100,000 for you fiat freaks, you'll be on the sideline saying, well, why did I sell? Why are the institutions getting rich? Why are the rich getting richer? Because you do freakish things like this. You have no patience. oh, it goes into the 8,000s. That means it'll never go back to its all-time high, even though every time it has returned to its all-time high. Learn about the halvings. Learn about the cycles, the 210,000 block cycle. We'll talk about that in a second, actually, so you'll learn about it if you don't know about it. That theory. So Nick Carter reminds us, this is a funny exercise. He looked at old Bitcoin articles on Medium by, I guess, using their search engine, searching for the word Bitcoin on Medium. And you get all these, the ones that have all the claps, which are the upvotes, I guess, they're such mainstream nonsense, panic, FUD. And here, this one that he describes recommends buying EOS, Rail Blocks, and Stellar. And that, Bitcoin was dead, that Bitcoin was old technology. This was the start of 2018, all the euphoria around, you couldn't do anything wrong. You put money in any altcoin, it did well. And so they thought Bitcoin was dead. Bitcoin was boring. Why not get the Stellar, EOS, and Rail Blocks? And he says, yet if you invested in the 3 Bitcoin killers, and that's what they were called, equal weight, when it was published, you lost 81% versus Bitcoin. I mean, it's that simple. But people don't, the people who did that aren't even in the space anymore. So many people who were screaming about the Bitcoin killers back in the early 2018, they're not around anymore. There's so many buzzwords, so many flavors of the month, and the people who get around those things, who jump onto those things, they disappear. And rightfully so. I mean, they don't want to face the music. Like, well, why were you telling me to buy Rail Blocks? Rail? What the heck is Rail? I don't even know what that is. Because they don't. Altcoins, you can get a lot of claps on Medium, apparently, if you talk about. I mean, that's what the 80%ers want to hear. They want to hear about diversification. They want, for the sake of diversification, they want to hear about the next Bitcoin, the Bitcoin killer. They don't realize it's so simple. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. There is no killer Bitcoin. For all of you who want reasons, why did it go down in price today? And you can make up your own stories about this. The only news around the time of the drop was that Bitfinex and Tether win an appeal from the New York Supreme Court in the $900 million case. The state of New York was trying to sue them, and they don't have to present some private information to the state of New York now. Whoopee! You can make up your own theories if that had anything to do with this. For me, it really doesn't matter. I don't need a reason why it went down today, why the fiat price went down, because I've been around this game since 2013. I've been owning Bitcoin, okay? I've been holding Bitcoin. That Bitcoin I bought in 2013, I still have. I still have that Bitcoin. And you know what? I've seen it. It's I don't need reasons why it goes. I don't need a reason for every price fluctuation. I don't need a fancy graph to reassure me and someone explaining why. I've seen it. It happens. But over the long run, I've seen every all-time high in terms of fiat broken. All right. And 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. And because I've held all this time, oh man, because I've held all this time, you get the crypto dividends. You get your just by holding your Bitcoin, you get interest on your Bitcoin by these people forking off their own coins, airdropping coins on the Bitcoin for us Bitcoin holders. Thank you, dudes, for making more altcoins and giving them to us for free. Thank you, because we just turn them into Bitcoin. And I've seen it happen quite a lot since I've been around for so long. Oh yeah, 2017, I'm talking to you. Pound that like button. All right. What do we have here? Yes, people. And yes, Peter Schiff is tweeting stuff about Bitcoin again. All sorts of mainstream people are jumping on Bitcoin today. Oh, I wonder why. I wonder why. When the going gets when it looks bad for Bitcoin in terms of fiat, all these naysayers, they have their moments, and let them have their moments. This is where the big boys play. They have every right in the world. Peter Schiff and whoever else, all the blind mainstream articles that'll be like, "Oh, Bitcoin crashed." They have every right to say that if they want to. I mean, because they know people, it's clickbait, gets them attention. The 80%ers fall for it always. That's why you have to have the mentality of like, I've got a strong hand. This is a joke for me. This is where the big boys play. If people get freaked out by what Peter Schiff and what CoinDesk or whoever, Wall Street Journal or Financial Times, what they write, all right, that's their prerogative. They get freaked out. That's why they lose money. That's why they lose Bitcoin. That's why in 2025, in 2021, they're not going to have any Bitcoin. I mean, you don't want to be around in 2021 and not have any Bitcoin. That's not a good feeling. That's not. I obviously it's not 2021 now, but you're watching this in 2021 and you're nodding your head like, yeah, I'm glad I got Bitcoin now. Yes. And for all of you people who just need to have a little positive jab at you, you'd like to hear about lines. The Tapiero line, baby. He said once it gets to $1 trillion market cap Bitcoin, and like that means like $50,000 Bitcoin, that's when all sorts of his financial fellow financial mainstream financial guys will jump on in. Now, of course, he knows he's not waiting for that. He's already in. But he says, some of these old 60-year-old dudes, they need a convincing like that. They need a Tapiero line breakage. And we're far from that right now. We are. We're not near there. We're not in terms of fiat. If it's 8,000 some dollars and that line is around 50,000 to get to $1 trillion market cap, we're not near there. But that's in our future, baby. That is in the future. A Tapiero line is in the future. And you don't want to be one of those conservative 68-year-old dudes and wait for that line to be broken. Now, it must be mentioned that those conservative 68-year-old dudes are like multimillionaires. And so it really won't bother them that much to pay $50,000 for Bitcoin. You, on the other hand, are probably not a multimillionaire 68-year-old man. So better get in before they do. And I mean, you've got all the opportunity in the world. We're way below that right now. But hey, it's positive to think about Tapiero lines, $1 trillion market caps. It's fun. I can't say when it's going to happen. Can't say it. You just it's in the long term. Gotta have patience. Strong hand. Pound that like button. Yeah, and another futuristic thing that I have talked about before, and I haven't talked about in a while, speaking about, dates in the future, specific dates, the 2036 Bitcoin halving, which will take place in less than 17 years. There will only be 56.25 new Bitcoin mined every day. 56.25 after that 2036 halving. So I have said in the past, I'm going to quote something I said. I have this written down here. I didn't erase it for some reason. Aim for 57 now instead of buying a $296,000 investment property. Now, again, you can tell I wrote that some time ago because 57 Bitcoin today is going to cost you a lot more than $296,000. But again, when I came up with this 57 Bitcoin thing for all you people who've got real strong hands and want to wait around for 2036, you spend $296,000 when I originally said this, instead of buying an investment property, it's a good deal already because the investment property is going to have maintenance cost. Already my lower cost has been blown out of the water, and it will be, do you think your investment property is going to double in value by it's by that year? You don't know. And there are maintenance costs on that. And already we're at a point, just a few months since I said aim for 57 if you have 296,000 laying around, which I know a lot of you don't. Most of you don't. It's already almost doubled in value, Bitcoin, for you fiat freaks. At one point, it was doubled in value. So there's something for all you 17-year thinkers. Value your time in halvings, all right? That's quite a few halvings away. But, if you own 57 Bitcoin today, you'll have as much Bitcoin at that point that will be produced every day. And that's going to make you elite, very elite at that point. And there are some of you that are 20, 22 years old. You won't even be 40 years old at that point. You won't even be 40 years old. Now, again, if you're 22 years old, you probably don't have the money to buy 57 right this second. But hey, aim high, baby. And I want to also point out for all the people who get freaked out by the fiat price, the 210,000 block theory. You can pick any time. You can pick today. Go back in time, 210,000 blocks, and Bitcoin in terms of US dollar price is worth more than it was. So we're going to have to see if 210,000 blocks from December 17th, 2017, whatever day it hit almost $20,000. I don't know what the exact day was. If that day in 2021, if it's going to be more than $19,600, whatever it was. But on this very day, September 24th, 2019, that 210,000 block theory is still valid, and you got to value your time in halvings. Think about it, 210,000 blocks at a time. Pick a date, subtract 210,000 blocks from it. Yes, in terms of fiat price, one Bitcoin is worth more than it was 210,000 blocks before that date. And let's see how long we can get that rule alive. And South Africa, some more news out of there. And I think that the conclusion I get from the news is that it will wake up more people to Bitcoin. It should wake up a lot more people if this actually happens. But people can do their own research. I already in South Africa, I would hope so many people know about it, and I know a lot of people know about Bitcoin. But South African banking strike threatens to shut down ATMs and internet banking. So I said the other day that somehow they were just going to shut down the tellers were all going to go on strike or whatever. You couldn't get into a bank on Friday. Well, somehow they're going to try to shut down the ATMs and the online banking also. Obviously, that does not happen to Bitcoin. So if that actually happens in South Africa, and I don't want this to happen in South Africa. I don't want people not to be able to access their money on ATMs and online and in person in South Africa. But this union is trying to do this because they want to be paid more, and that's their business. But if they really pull this off somehow, my positive framing of the situation, of the negative situation, is that it'll wake up more people to Bitcoin. So let's real quick here at the end, let's talk about quantum FUD. There's actually in Bitcoin.com, I linked to an article about it. And that's the Bcash Pravda. And even they say that there's nothing to worry about. And if Google really has a real quantum computer, okay, it goes way beyond Bitcoin and how it would change the world. So extraordinary claim, it requires extraordinary proof, okay? And we have nothing close to proof of the rumor that came out of Google. And it's not even clear what it is. And to really reassure you guys, Peter Todd, I'll leave you with this tweet. Someone asked, well, what does this mean for Bitcoin? What does this rumor mean for Bitcoin? It means nothing, he says, because Google's quantum breakthrough is for a primitive type of quantum computing that is nowhere near breaking cryptography. And again, we don't even know if they have this breakthrough. But there you go from Peter Todd. There are some people saying, well, maybe this price drop was caused by that. No, I seriously doubt it. But you can fuddle if you want to be a fudder. That's the popular FUD of the week, quantum FUD, because that rumor, it's freaking out a lot of doomers. Ooh, the Google will be able to control the world. They'll be able to hack into everything. Again, if they had a real quantum computer, and they're not saying that. The rumor isn't even that, as Peter Todd said. Yeah, they would be able to hack, and I mean, we would be in a whole new paradigm at that point. They'd be able to hack in the NSA, I guess. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But that's not even what's being claimed here. And I'm a positive guy. I think things are fine, guys. All right, I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, pound that like button, bang that bell button. I'm leaving Israel tomorrow. I'll get another video in. I won't have a beard then. International travel, black hair, darky skin. You need to get rid of your beard before you get on that plane. All right. Before TSA, when I get to New York, they don't. You gotta look clean cut and everything. You don't want to get all those extra questions and go into the back room with the weird looking dudes. Do you want a private search, Mr. Meister? All right. Yeah. Bang that bell button, click on those squares. Traveling big time tomorrow. I'll see you.